Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. So I wanted to bring you another video and focus this time on dating a Leo. I think Leo's a pretty interesting. I I know some people that are Leos, um, and think that it's, they're they can be very exciting people. All right, so again, if you would like to work with me, my information is in the description below. And let me go ahead and get started on dating a Leo. So one thing I would say, and I have, family and friends that are Leos, have some experience dating Leo actually for a short time. And one thing that I would say, and I'm trying to think of my list, but just focusing, I guess, on love and money, friendships, things like that with Leos. One thing i- when it comes to money is that Leos are not afraid to get out and work and make money, but if they can find a way to get someone else to take care of them, I think they would rather do that. Um, I think Leos like the idea of having a family, of um, kids, husband or wife, depending on if they're male or female. And um, I think they also like the idea of messing around and being single as well. So they can be flirty and things like that. And I think even if they are married or in a committed relationship, Leos might have a wandering eye. And one of the reasons why is because they can tend to have some insecurities about their bodies. It could be weight issues. It could be, things related to that. It could be like maybe they feel like they're not toned enough, they don't work out enough, but they battle a lot with weight issues. Um, and that's important because they can feel some insecurities. Um, they might end up because they also feel at times like they don't really have a lot of friends, they're loners. They can have some issues with friendships and relationships and things as well. They can end up being single, or they can spend a lot of time alone, which I think a lot of Leos do not like. I think they would prefer to be in a relationship. But the thing is, like I said, since they tend to have wandering eyes sometimes, and also since they like to get attention often, um, sometimes it's difficult for them to stay in a long term committed relationship or stay married. And they also have been known to cheat on others. And part of it can be because of their feeling insecure, their concerns about body issues and, being in shape or being toned or, being in the right weight or whatever. So they can battle that, throughout their lives. They can also have some experiences that are pretty traumatic and can lead them to um, some be it put themselves in some pretty dangerous situations. Um, Trauma can be around abuse, um, and they can have some pretty severe issues. They can, you know, have doubts, as far as their spirituality goes. Some of them can have doubts about God and things like that because of the terrible things that sometimes happen to Leos. Because sometimes they really want to be accepted. and liked and stuff like that, that could put them in situations where they're abused as well. Um, and they might take a lot of abuse and they might turn it into a situation where, let's say, if they have been abused, they might not leave. They might just say, okay, well, then I'm going to fight back and forth with this person. And they'll just fight back and forth with the person instead of walking away as soon as they should. Um, because also Leos can be hard headed. They are the lions. And so they are also fire signs, and they can be like like to get into arguments, like to fight, and they might not admit it, but they do like to be the center of attention. They do like drama. They can at times tend to, like I said, like to argue, fight with people. They can be the type that would throw a rock and then hide their hand. Um, if they have to, like I said, they will get out, make money, and work. They they don't have any problem being the provider, the head of the household, and they might end up with a partner that's not as fiery as them. They might have a partner, and they probably are better suited for a partner that, even if they argue with them a little bit, doesn't try to abuse them or attack them or anything like that, because Leos, even though they like to argue and fight, they can also be very kind hearted. They can tend to believe that others don't support them, and when they see a little bit of support, um, they seem to feel better about the relationship. They, at times, may want someone to come and rescue them, which is why I was saying, if they can, they will get the person to take care of them instead of them having to get out and work. But if they have to, they will get out and work. They can have doubts about their success, with money, because they, have doubts and might say nothing is meant for them because of all the stuff that happens to them, but they're not making the connection sometimes between their behavior and the things that happen to them. So, like, for instance, if you're trying to get someone to take care of you instead of you taking care of yourself, it may work out that you may not make the money to build the riches and have the life that you want, um, because you didn't work for it. And it's not fair, you know, for someone else to take care of everything for you when you could take care of it yourself. That's my perspective. I think that unless the person is not able to, or unless, like, for example, it's a traditional type of family and the man can be the breadwinner, or however it goes, it could be the feminine that could be the breadwinner and the man can be the stay at home person. I think Leos are actually probably more suited to being the breadwinner, and the masculine, if they're masculine in Leo's life, they might be more likely to be a more feminine type of man, or a man in his feminine energy, because the Leo can tend to be in their masculine energy. They can tend to want to run things, want to boss people around, not want to listen. Um, and so finding a partner that can put up with that, um, and likes their sometimes fiery temper, that's what I think they need. But like I said, Leo seem like more suited for the the breadwinner role. However, like I said, if it's in a, I think especially if it's a feminine Leo, that they would like to stay at home, but they also want to run things, and be the head of the household and all that. So they're taking on two different roles, and it doesn't always work out. Usually one person has to be the, you can co-lead, but it can't just be one person running everything and trying to make someone else take care of them. Often it doesn't really work that way. If it does, it maybe the masculine would feel like they're emasculated in that situation. Um, and Leos might actually have partners that tend to feel that way, like they're emasculated, or like, you know, the Leo is always starting arguments with them, causing trouble, starting fights, things like that, and they may not like it. So they need a partner that's either going to be a stronger sign and lead, or a person that's okay with them leading and also with, you know, taking care of them if they're the feminine. Um, I also want to do some videos on like compatibilities between signs, because I think that would be interesting as well, because I have some things, you know, experiences, or have seen experiences between signs, and, you know, thinking about their compatibility is actually pretty interesting. Um, who might be compatible with a Leo? I think there can be a lot of different signs, but it just depends. Like I said, they definitely need a sign that's going to be okay with them arguing, starting conflict, and being the center of attention and stuff like that. Um, but also someone who's going to help them. I think they could benefit from someone who's loyal in a relationship to them. But again, like I said, because they can sometimes cheat, sometimes have a wandering eye, it can be a challenge for them. So I think that is it. So we talked about love for the Leo, talked about money, talked about friendships. I would say later in life, the Leo can actually get things to come together financially, and they actually can be pretty well off for some of the Leos that actually start working early. Once they find out that everything's not going to be handed to them. And then I think they start to um, create opportunities and build wealth for themselves if they really do grab a hold of that. Now, of course, I should have said in the beginning, but I'm saying it now. Every Leo is not going to fit into this description, so it's not going to be every Leo. So one other thing that I did not mention is that Leos tend to also be spiritual, because things might happen, like they might have ghost stories to tell you. A lot of pretty interesting things happen to Leos, and they're actually pretty open minded, pretty accepting, understanding, and tolerant people. But like I said, they have to be careful that they don't have a partner that's abusive and they're just staying around and just going back and forth fighting with their partner. So they do tend to work well with a person. Like I said, if it's a Leo that wants to stay home, take care of the family and stuff like that, they tend to work well with someone who is going to help and or take care of them. A person who's stronger at being the leader and being the breadwinner than they are. All right. So, but it seems, I know I keep adding stuff to it, but it seems like maybe they feel like they're missing out on something, missing out on the fun, and they do like to be the center of attention. That could be something that could be a problem for Leos. All right. So I think I'm going to stop for now. Thank you for joining me. Looking forward to bringing you some more videos like this. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to hearing about your experience. Definitely. Um, and again, like I said, I want to bring you some compatibility videos. So I'll probably do that soon as well. Um, again, happy lightning fast manifesting. And I'm going to talk to y'all soon. All right. Bye for now.